That's what's crazy. It gets so cold that it's like, I mean, you get out, it's like pins and needles. Trying to answer y'all questions. Let's keep scrolling. Who will win the Olympia this year? I mean, you know, you got to really think of the last. You got to think of Hadi right now. I mean, you got a guy like Hadi that's not gonna ease up at all. He's the champ. He's not easing up. Barring injury, he probably will win. He's got more muscle than Derek, but Derek is definitely not a person that's gonna take that lightly. He got a taste of it last year. He got a taste of what could happen. So now he's going in as well. So he's definitely motivated. And then, you know, the rest, I mean, we'll just have to see. I think those are the two guys. I mean, Samson hasn't really stepped next to those two. So it could be, I mean, Nick, you know, all these guys, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. But everybody's going to have to be on. They're going to have to be complete. They're going to have to bring up their weakest body part. And that's what the biggest piece of advice I could give any pro is that if you can't bring up your weakest body part, you're not going to win. Just not going to win. And you shouldn't win. A lot of people ask me if I would ever get back on the stage. You know, it was funny. I was thinking about it. I was literally thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, I wouldn't have to do the Olympia to get back on the stage. I could do any show. That's what's funny. It was like the first time I actually had that conversation with myself. I was like, man, I could compete anywhere. I don't have to just do like the Olympia. I could just, I competed last week. You know, just did that just to do it and then do something else. How are you doing now health-wise? I'm actually doing really good, to be quite honest. I work with Transcend Company, but I also have a doctor. Her name is Gabrielle Lyon. We had a really good consult this past week, and everything looks good, you know. And when I say everything looks good, I mean there's a couple things that were elevated, but like cholesterol, stuff like that. But as far as like any real markers for like, you know, like heart disease, liver disease, like kidney disease, like nothing. So like very thankful for that, and being able to have a doctor like I said, Dr. Gabrielle, working with myself and working with my wife, and I have all the, you know, the best medications available to me through Transcend. So I'm gonna continuously be really, really good. So, you know, that's one thing I'm really happy about is obviously my health. Most importantly, that I have the resources. So shout out to Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and obviously guys over at Transcend Company. You guys rock. A lot of bodybuilders struggle through retirement. Did you go through the same thing? Absolutely. I mean, you know, you struggle. People struggle through transition, whether it be relationships or careers. I mean, people have that. Like that's a part of life. That's a part of growth. There's no real blueprint for it. I mean, the biggest thing is just to know that if you can sit still and learn to gather your breath and be able to meditate and being able to dream about other things, you'll be okay. You know, you'll have to learn that there's other things available to you in this world that are worth going after. I think the problem, you know, with transition is when you stop dreaming. When you don't dream about anything and you still stay stuck in the past. You stay stuck in that relationship, stuck in that shitty job or whatever, and you don't dream about like now. Like what is going on now? What do you want in the future? And if what you had in the past doesn't serve you today, then it's time to transition. And that is hard, but it's only hard for the person that refuses to dream and to then act. And understand that it's going to be tough. You know, it's going to be rough. You know, you're going to have moments. But that's when you have to really get those emotions out. You got to write down, you got to meditate, you got to pray, you got to do those things. And if you can do them on a consistent basis, I think you'll be all right. It says Phil, Heath still thinks he is superior to the all-time greats. I don't understand. What I earned, I don't know if that's shade. I don't know if that's a congratulatory thing. All I know is that I earned it. I prevented a lot of badass bodybuilders to win the Olympia. And I think that always puts me in a different category. And a lot of people understand that as they get older too. Oh, much love. Oh, from Scotland? Man, I have never been to Scotland. I want to bring my wife to Scotland. I want to get out there. What has been my best experience inside of bodybuilding? I mean, of course, winning the Olympia. Excuse me. What's it say? You two have to put up. Who's my favorite bodybuilder right now? You know what's funny? Is I haven't really had time to really dissect everybody's physique. I don't really have a favorite bodybuilder that's competing right now. What I try to do is look at the genuine mindset from these guys. As far as the bodies, I mean, I appreciate their hard work and stuff like that. I miss some of the bodies that I competed against. I miss seeing like the prime Jay Cutlers, the prime Victor Martinez, the prime Dexter Jacksons, Branch Warrens, Dennis Wolfs, Ronnie Rocco, Kai Green. I miss those. So those are the ones I really think about. It's just my era. I just think about those more than the current guys. Because honestly, I feel like those guys I do feel like they're better in their own way. The new guys, they look really good, and I'm a fan of theirs. I just don't have a favorite, I guess. I don't have a favorite. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, my era was dope, man. I don't think people really think about it. Like, if you take all of our physiques in our prime, these new cats, man, I don't. Excuse me. What's it say? You two have to put up. Who's my favorite bodybuilder right now? You know what's funny? Is I haven't really had time to really dissect everybody's physique. I don't really have a favorite bodybuilder that's competing right now. What I try to do is look at the genuine mindset from these guys. As far as the bodies, I mean, I appreciate their hard work and stuff like that. I miss some of the bodies that I competed against. I miss seeing like the prime Jay Cutlers, the prime Victor Martinez, the prime Dexter Jacksons, Branch Warrens, Dennis Wolfs, Ronnie Rocco, Kai Green. I miss those. So those are the ones I really think about. It's just my era. I just think about those more than the current guys. Because honestly, I feel like those guys I do feel like they're better in their own way. The new guys, they look really good, and I'm a fan of theirs. I just don't have a favorite, I guess. I don't have a favorite. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, my era was dope, man. It just, I don't think people really think about it. Like, if you take all of our physiques in our prime, these new cats, man, I don't know. They'd have a hard time. They would really have a fucking hard time. They'd have a hard time going against that. Oof. And it is also because of a variety of things, you know. Genetics, overuse of, you know, products that are out there and stuff like that. That happens all the time. But I do feel like my era was just legit. Like, oh, I forgot about, you know, like Rodin too, you know, like he's in there. Yeah. At our primes, oof, nah, these guys ain't messing with that. John Jay, what's happening, man? Yeah, I might, you know, you never know, man. I might be in Arizona, you know. Might be out that way. You never know. What about Rami? I think Rami has a real opportunity to figure this out, and I think, personally, I think he looked better at the Arnold Classic. I was actually there. I wasn't sitting, you know, I wasn't sitting in the audience. I was actually in the green room. But yeah, I'm very perplexed as to why he received that placing. I have my own thoughts, but I almost feel like I need to talk to some judges to understand like what their mindset was too. And you know, because just because I think something doesn't mean that that's the way that it should be. So, you know, I would love to, you know, even on my own podcast, you know, just chop it up with, you know, Big Steve or Jermaine or Tyler and kind of understand. Because that way it allows me to help you guys too. You know, I can have my own opinions and all that stuff, but I would love to be able to, you know, make it make sense. Oh yeah, you already know, DJ. Like, yeah, Dennis James in the building. Of course, if I'm ever in AZ, you know I'm hitting you up. Plus, we gotta chop it up anyway, man. It's been a hell of a long time. You know, we didn't really get to chop it up like at the Olympia and all that shit. You know, you was dealing with Rami and all that stuff, man. That shit's backstage, man. That shit was still, man, that was so crazy last year. That backstage was so small. What's it saying? Alright, so I'm gonna my wife's calling me inside. I think she's got something going on for me, so I got sun, I got net cold plunge. It's time for me to go to work. I just want to tell you guys thank you for your ongoing love and support. Appreciate you. Have a great freaking Monday. And my DMs are open for questions and stuff like that. If you really want, you know, I'm going to create a mail list so you can text me all your questions and stuff, and then we can get this really going for my YouTube channel. I really appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't already, you can go my Phil Heath TV on YouTube and, you know, subscribe, because Sheree and I both are going to be putting up a lot of different content on there, whether it be training, whether it be doing actual lives through YouTube on here. It could be a little bit more in length, and the quality would be really good as well. So have a great freaking week. Be intentional about everything that you want in your life. Do not rest until the job is finished. And if you can, write write out the thoughts, write out the things that you are going to do. Not that you just want to do, but that you are going to do today. I actually have a whiteboard in my office, and I write like everything. And then I look back at it and say, did you get this shit done? And it's like, no. Well, then why not? And then you make an excuse and you're like, nope, no excuses, just go get it.